Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're back for another episode of Kenshi. In the last episode, we began sieging another one of the Holy Nation military camps. However, during the siege, one of our warriors, Tengu, got captured and is being held within the military camp, which means not only do we need to crush this military camp, we also need to free Tengu before it's too late and he gets sent over to Rebirth. However, if they do attempt to send him to Rebirth, we'll intercept the patrol as soon as they leave the military camp. We do know that they have some Holy Nation Inquisitors, though, in the camp, and those are some of the strongest fighters that they have. As well, this camp also has several crossbow turrets along the walls, which is a pretty serious threat for us. If we get hit by those crossbow bolts, it'll likely knock out our people instantly, and then it'll cause massive bleed damage, which if untreated will kill our warriors very quickly. Additionally, if you're enjoying the content, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into this. We defeated the last patrol that we pulled outside of the walls, and with the majority of our warriors still in solid fighting shape, we decided to continue our push into the city. Mongrel Chad bravely left the charge as we charged into the city. Like before though, our plan is to just run in, grab the attention of as many guards as we can, and then quickly get out. That way we can fight the guards on our own terms and avoid the crossbow shots. Unfortunately though, when we were falling back, Hammett took a very heavy hit to the chest and immediately got knocked out. We're going to need to send someone in there to grab him before he gets captured and enslaved. But we got to deal with all the guards that we've now aggroed. The guards quickly tried to rush after us, thinking we were running. However, little did they know that they were running right into an ambush full of our warriors. Every battle we engage in takes us closer to defeating the Holy Nation. This military camp is one of few that's supporting the Holy Nation, and so by bringing this military camp down, we'll absolutely cripple the Holy Nation's forces and weaken their military strength. The biggest thing holding us back though still will be our armor and weapons. We're using pretty shoddy gear, and ideally we would need some specialist grade equipment. Perhaps we need to make one of our unpaid volunteers either a blacksmith or an armor. That way we can start getting some better gear as soon as we can. Or maybe we should just start focusing on producing hashish. That way we can sell it and then just buy whatever we need. It seems we're starting to get the edge though against the regular paladins. We're winning this battle with a pretty decisive win. Not many of our warriors have collapsed, which is a good improvement as before we've been struggling anytime we fought the paladins. Even the Holy Sentinels were a decent challenge, but we've been in a constant state of fighting ever since we left the hub about 50 days ago. Kenshi's an unforgiving place, and Burntopia was built with some blood, sweat, and tears. We have fought incredibly hard to get to this point, and we will not let the Holy Nation defeat us. And we're starting to become noticeably stronger with every fight we engage in. With this fight wrapping up though, we loot all the paladins for any gear that we can grab off them, and then we go back to another healing session to recover our wounds, in preparation of the next battle. The bone dogs will be eaten good tonight with the amount of corpses we left behind, and if they do come, we'll go hunt them for some extra food for us. We left Burntopia about 25 days ago, and this fight does not seem like it's going to be ending anytime soon. By the next morning, a group of hungry bandits attack our wounded warriors. However, even wounded, we still swat them away like they're nothing but flies. We're not just a rabble anymore, we're a legitimate fighting force, and those hungry bandits should be able to see all the carnage that's left behind in our wake. They should have known better. That bandit attack, though, was just the prelude for another Holy Nation raid on our camp. Out of nowhere, a group of paladins showed up and started attacking us. It's almost as if they hired those bandits to test our defenses before they began their assault. It's starting to seem like the Holy Nation is trying to employ the same strategy that we're using. However, at this point, we can handle with the Holy Sentinels fairly easily. If they were going to try something like this, they should have done it back while we were in Rebirth. That would have really caught us off guard and probably actually ended us. However, too late for them now. With only one of the Holy Sentinels still standing though, it almost feels like we're starting to bully them. But given the Holy Nation's crimes, we have no choice but to exterminate all of them without mercy. I do have to give this one Holy Nation guard some credit though. He is putting up a hell of a fight against so many of our warriors, lasting a lot longer than I would expect. It's honestly impressive that he's managed to hold out as long as he have. If we were closer to our city, I would have definitely captured him so we could recruit him. He's one hell of a warrior, that's for sure. But even the best of warriors can't last too long against sheer numbers, and eventually we bring them down just like everyone else. And given that this group actually held their own pretty decently, we're going to top up our health one more time before we go back into the city. We're erring on the side of caution with our health when dealing with the Holy Nation. We don't want to end up captured again. Before we even get a chance, though, to fall back to our camp, another Holy Nation patrol comes through, and this one's a lot more sizable than the last one. It also appears that there's at least 2 high paladins among them. This is a serious issue for us, as we're already a little bit injured, and this will be one of our hardest fights yet. Thankfully, we haven't had to face any of the Inquisitors yet, but geez, it actually appears like there's 3 high paladins. Up until now, we've only ever fought one at a time, though, and every single time they shred our army. This very well might be the end of Burn's story if we can't come out of this fight with a win. Lucky for us, though, the High Paladins don't seem like they came with much backup. I guess they were pretty confident that they would be able to defeat us. However, their confidence might be their undoing. As well, it's going to give us a great opportunity to actually train against these Paladins. The Holy Nation is one of the 3 major factions, so if we manage to actually bring them down, that'll make us one of the 3 major factions at that point. Even with us having a significant edge in numbers, I'm not sure if we'll even be able to take out these High Paladins. They're incredibly powerful warriors, plus their armor and weapons are far superior than what we currently have. Luckily though, with every High Paladin we fight, we can collect their armor, and that'll just further strengthen our army. The issue though with these constant raids against our camp, Tengu's still enslaved over in that military camp, and the longer we're stuck dealing with these random patrols, the longer that Tengu is going to be stuck as a prisoner. With the fighting as it is now, we're not gaining any ground, and remaining at just a stalemate. Typically that would be fine, as this is good training as well for us, but given that one of our warriors are a prisoner, we need to be able to break away from this ASAP so we can free him. Or perhaps maybe we can actually sneak into the Holy Nation military camp. Given we're surrounded by disguises, maybe we will be able to actually utilize a disguise and get in. Using a disguise becomes a serious gamble though, because if that one person who's sneaking in is caught out, then they'll be absolutely surrounded with guards and immediately captured or killed. At this point, the High Paladins have knocked out majority of our army, leaving us only to our best warriors left still standing. But all of our warriors are severely injured at this point. We can't keep going on for long like this, with the fighting not letting up really at all. It gives us very little time to regather our forces, with our camp becoming an absolute battlefield. And all 3 of the High Paladins are still up fighting. They are some serious warriors that should not be messed with lightly. One of the High Paladins finally goes down, and we immediately loot him for every bit of gear that he had, just in case that he comes back up, we're not having to deal with him again. These guys are tough enough the first time. We don't need to fight them once again after already having a very severely injured army. Unfortunately though, the fight's gone on for so long, and we haven't had a chance to actually loot all the regular Paladins for their gear. Some of them are starting to come back up and fight us back. We're already down to the wire with our troops, barely holding on. With 2 High Paladins left, we can't deal with any more of these regular Paladins. We're going to try to loot the weapons off the remaining ones as quickly as we can. That way we don't have to keep fighting more of them. This fight's really not looking good for us. We're only down to a few warriors left. Fumin has no choice other than to jump into the fight. Fumin goes into a defensive state, trying to hold off for as long as possible. If we can just buy some time, some of our other warriors will wake up, and then maybe we can turn the tide back into our favor. Fumin bravely gives us all the time that we need, and many of our warriors start waking up. The first thing we do is try to collect weapons of the fallen paladins, while the majority of our army tries to hold off the high paladins. This is the closest fight yet, and if we don't pull through this, then that's the end of Burn's story. But we didn't crawl out of the pits of rebirth and fight our way all the way here for nothing, and we're not giving up easily. However, unfortunately, all of our able-bodied warriors have gone down. The High Paladins then turn their gaze towards our crippled warriors who lost limbs in the previous fights. Many of our warriors are bleeding out and on the verge of death. Those High Paladins were merciless and didn't give us any chance to recover. This battle marks our first major defeat in the war against the Holy Nation. A single battle doesn't win a war though, and maybe we'll be able to recover from this. Tengu will just need to hold out a little bit longer in the prison, because currently he's now doing better than the rest of our army. Will we be able to recover from this defeat, or will this be the end of Burn's story? Find out next time in part 23. And if you're enjoying the content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.